Hello Werewolf Army, this is Jaden from Jaden's Videos, and I'm back with the last ever Tombstone review. It's been a great series, and I've really enjoyed it. Now you guys are probably wondering, well, what if you want to do prop reviews? This is the last ever Tombstone review, but not done with reviews. There's still going to be a different review series coming out, but this is the last ever Tombstone review. I'm never going to go by the same rating scale. It's never going to be called Tombstone Reviews again. So it's been a great series, and I've really enjoyed doing it, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed the series. And so this is the last ever Tombstone review, and it is on Limb Ripper. Now, I've reviewed Limb Ripper in the past, but since this is the last review, and he is one of my favorite props, and he's a werewolf, I figured that would be fitting for the last Tombstone review. So stay tuned, because the new reviews will be coming out either tonight or tomorrow, I don't know, with the new name of the reviews, and stuff like that. So I hope you guys will stay tuned for that new series after Tombstone reviews are over, because it is going to be a little bit different, and it might be a little strange starting it off, since most of us are used to Tombstone reviews by now. But I'm gonna change it, because Tombstone reviews is just, you know, it's gotta come to an end eventually. And I was thinking about doing a name change of Tombstone reviews, but then I just thought, there goes my ringtone again. But it's like in every video from now on. But then I thought that just changing the whole series and doing stopping the whole series and then doing a whole new series would probably be a better idea. So that's what I'm gonna do. So here's the remade review on Limb Ripper. I covered this guy, but I didn't really, the review, it was decent, but I want to do a better review for Limb Ripper, because I know a lot of haunters love Limb Ripper, and of course I do. So I want to do a much better review for him than I did last time. So let's start up at the head. When I did my first review of him, I started down at the feet, but I'm going to start up at the head this time. The detail is absolutely amazing on this prop. It is made by Seasonal Visions, so you can't expect that, because Seasonal Visions quality is really good, with really good detail too. I know in 2016 they were kind of lacking a little bit on the quality. Detail was still perfect, but the quality was lacking. But hopefully they pick it up and go back to normal next year. They still made awesome products this year, though. I'm not sure if I got Towering Chain Ghost, never mind. Yeah, so I did get one Seasonal Visions prop this year. And he's a good one, too. One Seasonal Visions prop from Spirit. I got some others from other stores. But here's Limb Ripper. I love how, the colors meet here, and they kind of, bind together. That made no sense. They, kind of go, it goes from, the brown over to the gray, and it just looks so cool how he's got two colors on his head. I would have preferred, now I think that does look super cool, how there's two colors on the fur on his head, but I would have preferred if his whole head was brown, because I just think it's a cooler color for him. But it's still very cool that he has that. But as you can see, he's got the fur on the top, on the back of his ears. This is a lot like well, not really the clothes, but if you just look at his head, the detail and stuff does look a lot like a professional prop. It really does, you have to admit it. A lot of people were saying Howling Werewolf looked like a professional prop, and he kind of did, but Limb Ripper is the most professional looking prop probably not the most professional one, but one of the most professional looking props I own. Because he does look a lot like a professional prop, if you just look at all the detail. And then there's the gray fur surrounding the face. There's his yellow eyes, which look awesome. And they light up, of course. There's his nose, that's where his sensor is. It's not IR, it's just motion sensor. That's before IR sensors became like a big thing on props. It was mainly just sound activation and motion activation. But now pretty much every prop, except for Techie, pretty much almost every prop now is IR sensors. Which I like. IR sensors are really good because they pick up in the dark and in the light because they are infrared. So I really like how they've switched to that, because Limb Ripper, that's the problem with him. Like, he can only go off in a light area, so it's kind of hard to get him off in a haunt. Get him to go off in a haunt unless you have him on the full steady mode, but then I get nervous that he'll break since he is a 2012 prop, so he's seen quite a few years, but he's still fully working, which is great. But I'm just nervous that, well, of course he's going to break someday, because all props break someday. But I'm just nervous about him breaking in the middle of a haunt 1 year. But here's his face. He's got those streaks coming from his eyes. It looks so cool. That nose. All the detail on his face is just awesome. All the little wrinkles and stuff. And then around his mouth, of course, it's a little shaded black. There's his fangs and his teeth with his open mouth, which is super cool. That's one of the most detailed parts on him, is his mouth, with how the texture on the tongue here and on the roof of the mouth, and how the teeth are like all yellowed and they've got blood dripping down them. It's just so cool. And he's even got some brown fur under his chin. And here's his shirt, which could have better detail, but I think the detail's fine on it. Actually, the detail's pretty good on it. I just think it's the material that they use that makes it kind of look more fake. And the thing that really I don't like is how my Limb Ripper, I don't know if they're all like this or not, but mine has got like that gaping area right there, so you can see all the mechanical parts and stuff. So his shirt, like I said, the mechanical parts and stuff like that showing, it kind of takes away for me and the material of the shirt, but I still think it's awesome. And it's probably not going to take away on the points that I give this guy, just because his detail really makes up for it. He's kind of got a hunchback, which really also adds to it. And sorry if I'm getting a little loud, I'm just trying to drown out like noises and stuff from my living room, like the TV and my parents talking. So but the detail on the shirt is just so cool. All the different blood and everything like that, it's just so cool. I absolutely love it. It's just an awesome prop. I would have preferred if the sensor was one of the buttons, but then again, IR sensors weren't that big of a thing then. Like, they still existed though, so I really wish they had used an IR sensor and made it one of the buttons. Not only would it detect easier, but it could also detect little kids. Like, he's not going to go off when little kids go by, because his sensor's all the way up at his nose. When I got him, I was like down here, so it was really hard for me to get his sensor to go off. I'm fine with it now since I'm taller now, but when I first got him, I was like down, all the way down to like that claw, so it was really hard to get the sensor to go off. Here is his arm with the, of course this is just like a part of an arm right here. Then it stops, which that's like all props, so I don't know why I really pointed that out. I like how it's like jagged, like it's torn. The hands, well, first I want to point out how it's got the brown fur on the arm, but the hands are one of the most detailed parts on him, along with his head, like I already mentioned. That's the most detailed part. And then the hands, they look so cool, the claws and everything. like, as you can see, this one's like this, so you can put like a severed arm prop right in the hand, because that's what's meant to be done with this guy, since he's called the Limb Ripper. It doesn't come included with him, but it is meant to, that is how it's meant to be. You're supposed to put an arm there. He's got a whole bunch of blood splatters just all over his hand, and you can see the blood is just like dripping down his hand. It just looks so cool. And it's not really too bad. I know that most people, if you're staring at it from straight on, you won't be able to see the back of the hand. Even when he moves to the side, you won't be able to see the full back of the hand where all the blood is. But I don't think that's too bad that they didn't put too much blood here, because of course you're most likely going to put a hand there, like, or an arm there like it's supposed to be. And I did have an arm there, but I took it out because it was getting in the way of some props in the other location that I had him, across the room where Harbinger of Hell is now. So I took it out because it was like knocking props, but now I have to put it back in because it's in a location that I won't do that now. Well, it could to the ghost chair, but whatever. This arm's got the brown fur too, and this is real fur, his fur is, which is really awesome. And so there's this hand. You can see the veins too. He's just got really creepy looking claws, and it's got blood splatters on it, of course, just like the other one, and blood dripping. Then there's the inside of the hand. Very cool. Now, I did mention how, in my other review of him, I remember this, I did mention how this area right here was like flat, but that's because I didn't have the pants pulled up around the waist bracket. So it's not flat anymore, and it looks more realistic because I did fix that problem. I know you can't really see his pants, but they are a green, a very dark green, and they've got tons of blood splatters on them, which is awesome. Here are the feet, which are definitely one of the creepiest parts on him because they are so huge. I know, like, we have seen bigger in props, but I still remember first getting this guy, when I got the feet out of the box, I was like, wow, because they are just so huge, as you can see right there. And then they go back in like the werewolf type formation of legs, and it looks really cool. There's his base. So I guess I'm gonna play him now and show you what he does, even though most of you probably already know what he does. And then I'll show his module after I turn him on. So let me try to see, there's like hardly any light over here, so it's kind of tricky. Yeah, I used the little flashing light on my camera. I like how he kind of shakes too. He used to shake much more, like he used to shake like that. But of course he's from 2012, so things are gonna happen to him over the years, which is sad, but that's what happens. Gonna lift, hold on. You can see like kind of the holes in there, but there's the module, or the control box, and he's got his sensor mode, he's got his try me mode, I think, and then he's got his steady on mode, and he's got an off mode. I think that's the try me mode. I just flipped him on the steady on mode just so you can see what it does. Yeah, his motor is like really loud too, because he is getting old. Not too old, but I've used him a lot, and he is from 2012. So you can expect prop motors to sound like that after years of use. But as you can see, that's what happens when you have him on the steady on mode. He just keeps running. Let me see what mode he's on now. I think I turned him off. Whoops. There we go. So, even though I've reviewed him before, on the Tombstone review rating scale, I'm gonna give the Limb Ripper Werewolf, let's do 9 out of 10 jack-o'-lanterns. Actually, since it's the final Tombstone review, you know what, I'm gonna say 10 out of 10 jack-o'-lanterns. The reason I was thinking 9 out of 10 though is because, hold on, let me turn my stuff off. The reason I was thinking of 9 out of 10 is because his sensor, like I was mentioning earlier, how I was kind of complaining about that, how it cannot detect little kids and it also cannot detect very well in the dark. So I really wish they would have used an IR sensor for him. But other than that, he's a really awesome prop. So I hope you guys enjoyed this final Tombstone review. And I know it might be a little sad that this series is ending, but a much better prop review series is going to be coming very soon. So keep howling at the moon, my werewolves. Please comment, rate, and subscribe.
Hey, come back. You don't play fair and you're making me angry. But maybe if you subscribe to Jaden's videos and join the werewolf army, I'll let you live another day. But it's not guaranteed.